my fellow beings, my name is Amanda, and today we are going to be reacting to a video by Jessica Kellgren-Fozard, which, if you don't know who she is, that blows my mind. So I'm going to leave all of her information in the description box below. She is fantastic and beautiful, and I love her, and her hair is gorgeous. But she's just a bright, happy soul that makes me happy. And so I've seen all of her videos. Apparently I haven't seen this particular one. I probably have, but my memory problems are bad. So it will be a new adventure, even though it's... even though I've seen it before. Or maybe not. I might not have. But I'm going to watch this video with you and let you know some things, because even though a lot of her conditions are very similar to mine, there are things that are different, and I just want to react to some of the things that she talks about. This is the video called 30 Lessons About Life with Chronic Illness, and let's learn some things about life with chronic illness, and I think that will be fun. Alright, let's watch this.
Hello lovely people! Since I have now been on this planet for 30 years and lived with a debilitating chronic illness for most of them, actually probably all of them, I thought I should tell you the 30 key life lessons I've learned in my journey. Like every piece of advice on my channel, I don't think that these all necessarily apply purely to people with chronic illnesses. I hope you can take at least one thing from this list, no matter what you're going through or the adversity you've overcome. Let me know in the comments below which you most relate to and any you think I've missed. 30. The internet can save you. Hello internet. My connection to the world outside of my house is just the internet, and I am so thankful for you. Jesus, if I lived 100 years ago, I would have to spend my days writing copious letters to random addresses that I'd found in the directory, and they would not subscribe to my letters, leave comments, click the like button, or share it with their friends. So, just saying.
I'd have to agree. Not so much with YouTube, because my channel is still really small, but I still love everyone that comments on my videos. But the internet in general has saved me. I can learn things, I can watch things, I can do all kinds of things. I've taken classes online. So I have to agree that the internet can save you. So I agree.
29. The internet can also destroy you. So many weird medical articles that can only make you feel worse. Don't do that. Once you have your diagnosis, don't spend the next decade Googling it at random intervals, especially if you have memory problems, or else you'll just be reminding yourself that it's progressive and you're eventually going downhill. Good times. Also, you can pretty much convince yourself you have anything because most symptoms overlap.
I have to agree with that because, yes. Googling your disabilities or illnesses is not a smart thing to do. Don't do it. It will destroy you. And once you know what your diagnosis is, do as much research as you can and then leave it alone. Because you could start thinking all kinds of stuff. So
28. You will become an excellent liar and faker. Me? Oh, I'm fine. Oh, this? It's just my leg falling off. Don't worry about it. Bleeding. Let's order some coffees. Or not a good faker. I didn't claim you'd become a good actor.
You will become an excellent faker, and people will ask you how you're doing, and you feel like your entire body is breaking apart and you just want to die. And you smile and you're like, it's fine, everything's fine, it's great. Yep.
27. There is no such thing as a schedule. You will be late. You will cancel last minute. You will feel awful some evenings. You'll feel amazing some evenings. You'll sleep in. Or you'll get up 5 hours too early and be unable to get to sleep again. Varied, keeping life chronically interesting.
I can't stress this enough. If you have a chronic illness and you are required to rest, make sure that you do that. You are not lazy. You are not doing anything wrong. You are doing what you're supposed to. And it's true. You could sleep in. You could wake up way too early and not get back to sleep. There is no schedule. So get used to that.
26. You'll find out who your real friends are. Generally the ones who don't mind you cancelling last minute and being late to everything. 25. It is the most expensive thing that will ever happen to you. Oh, you thought children were expensive. At least they leave. Or you can just own them. I mean, having a chronically ill body is like someone dumping screaming baby triplets on you that never age, and you didn't even get to have the fun sex part in the first place. Having said that, number 24. You can enjoy life with a chronic illness. Shocker, I know.
It is very expensive, and I don't think people realize how expensive it is. It is extremely expensive to be chronically ill, and yeah. But I like how she goes on to the next part where it says you can enjoy life with chronic illness, because you can.
It might not seem like it when you first get diagnosed, and there are definitely days after that when you don't have a great time. But much like healthy people, your ability to find the fun is based on your personality and resilience, bar any separate mental health condition, but we will get on to that later. A chronic illness diagnosis is not the end of the world. You can still have fun. 23. People will annoyingly think you have the dream lifestyle. Wow, I would love to stay home in bed all day. Oh my god, Susan, shut your face!
I can't tell you how many times people have said that to me. Where, oh my gosh, I really wish that I could stay in bed all day. You know what? After, 5-6 years of doing this, I think I'm on 5. Time has no meaning for me. After doing this for so many years, cabin fever is a real thing, and it happens, and you want to scream, and you just want to get out. And then it doesn't help when you have cabin fever after, being cooped up in your house for an entire year, that you can't really go outside because there's a pandemic. So,
22. If someone says you don't look sick, you will want to punch them, even if you're a pacifist. Sometimes when people say, wow, you look really bad, I almost cry with relief. Thank you for seeing me on the inside.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me that I don't look sick, but you look beautiful. And I'm like, makeup is great. So, and I'm really good at faking a smile. So yes, it is true when someone tells you you look awful, sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, thank you. There are other days I don't like it, but
I will be offended if you don't mention how nice my hair is today, though. 21. Mindfulness does not reduce pain. Jog on. Number 20. Do not compare yourself to anyone, ever, even other ill people. We all have different experiences and presentations of symptoms. We all start from a different place. We all encounter different obstacles. You've got this. You're doing great. You're still moving forwards. Don't look to those on the path beside yours, or you're going to lose your way.
I love how she puts this. It is so true that you should never compare yourself to anyone, because you have a right to your own illness. Like when people get sick and have a cold and they're like, oh, but it's not as bad as yours. I'm like, you're allowed to be sick. You're allowed to, complain about being sick. You have a right to your illness. And I think that is true for yourself as well. Be kind to yourself. Remember that you have a right to complain sometimes, but remember that you can still find the joy in life. So you can don't compare yourself to anyone else. Even if they have the same illness as you, they could have totally different symptoms. So don't compare yourself to anyone.
19. Other people will compare you, sometimes to yourself. You could do that yesterday. Well, I can't today, Brian. Deal with it. More often to other people with the same or similar conditions who are either doing a lot better or a lot worse, and there is a high level of guilt embedded in this, and no one knows why, and it's not always intentional.
Yes. It really hurts and gets at me when people are like, but yesterday you could get up and you could clean this. Why can't you get up and do it today? Because I'm in a crash now and I can't do that. Yeah.
18. Plants and flowers will save your sanity. Bring the outdoors indoors. Get a little feel for what you're missing, and you won't be missing it so much. It's also great to have a hobby, like flower arranging. 17. Have hobbies! Reasonable hobbies. When considering a new hobby, don't just think of the energy it takes to do the thing itself, but also the setup and the clean down time. Start small and expand from there.
Yes. Make sure that you have hobbies, something that you can do while you're resting, that you can enjoy. I have things like crocheting. I love doing that when I can't really move from my chair. It is an activity that I can do while just sitting. And my crocheting habits have like gone through the roof since getting sick, because I was, an average crocheter before, and now I'm like crochet everything. So also, like reading, you could read if maybe your eyes don't work properly, or your illness makes it so that you can't read books very much. Audiobooks are great. I am always advocating audiobooks. So find a hobby that is good for you and your energy level. In the future, you may be able to expand your hobbies, but for now, keep it small and keep it reasonable.
16. Resting is a lie. Resting beforehand may increase the odds that you'll be less sick than usual on the day of an event, but it is no guarantee. The misconception can lead to friendship-threatening misunderstandings if you're too tired to make an event and the host feels like it's because you didn't rest enough beforehand and you don't care enough about them. Ugh. Naps are also a lie. I always wake up from a nap feeling worse.
Amen to that. Resting is not something that will automatically recharge your batteries. So there is a story out there that is the spoonie theory, where you have so many spoons for a day, and as you do energy reducing things, your spoons are taken away from you. And so if you ever hear spoonie, it's a story that describes energy levels. But I particularly am not a huge fan of the spoonie theory, because it makes it sound like you start with the same amount of spoons every day. You don't. So there's a group called the Unchargeables, which I go towards more, because it's like a battery in an old cell phone. So you could charge it and charge it and charge it and charge it and charge it, unplug it, and the battery could be dead. So resting, though it can help you prepare yourself for activities, does not mean that you are going to be charged enough to do that activity. So tell your friends, I'm sorry, my battery just didn't charge. And naps make me feel worse, but I end up napping anyway.
15. Taking care of your mental health is vital. Setting aside any unrelated mental health issues you may have, physical and health problems can have a huge impact on your mental well-being. Conversely, poor mental health can have an impact on your physical state. Even able-bodied people feel the physical impact of stress. The heart races, the shoulders tense, you get a headache. In a body that is already under pressure, those same responses can be very harmful. Keeping mental stress to a minimum is vital when you're chronically ill, and sharing your feelings is a big part of that.
So I agree with her 100%. When you are chronically ill, people's baseline is up high. Like the normal baseline is down here, and so when you get a mental trip, you have enough space to come up and come down from it. But when you are chronically ill, you're constantly up here, and so you only have a little bit of space to have those crazy moments happen to you. So it can be even more harmful for you if you are chronically ill. So take care of your mental health. Make sure that you see someone, or there are online programs that you can talk to a therapist, or read self-help books. Anything like that can really help you stay mentally focused and calm, because you need this and you deserve it. So get the help that you need, and there is no shame in it. I've been seeing my therapist for a really long time now, and I love her, and I probably talk about her a lot, but she's fantastic. And there is no shame in seeing a therapist. So if you need a therapist, go see a therapist. You deserve to be happy. So
14. You have so much time on your hands. Hours and hours and hours you spend in bed. 13. You also have no time, because those long hours aren't healthy hours. You can't actually do anything with them. My mother once told me, your father's very disappointed that you haven't spent all this time in bed reading more classic books. And I honestly have never been so devastated. 12. Being constantly ill can be painfully monotonous. After giddy and enthused, my third most common feeling is, I am ready for something new. Can we be done with this illness thing now? It's very boring. Generally, my day-to-day symptoms are just day-to-day. They don't really change. I'm ill, I'm in pain, I'm tired. Like right now. At this point, it's kind of exciting when I have an injury, just because it's different.
Yes, it gets super monotonous. It is something that you really just get bored with very quickly. And I've had a few meltdowns where I'm just like, I don't want to do the same thing again. Please don't make me do the same thing again. But that's how most of my days are. Very monotonous. Come out, sit in my chair, crochet a bit, watch some YouTube, go to bed. That's like my day. So when things are different, it's super exciting, and I love that.
11. You will get cabin fever, originally meaning you got stuck in a log cabin for an incredibly long winter. Chronic illness meaning, oh my god, I hate this house, get me out of here. I recommend window shopping for new houses online. It saves me from chewing my own arm off. 10. You need to surround yourself with only positive thoughts and comments. Sometimes people in my life like to give me a dose of reality when they think I'm being too optimistic. To which I ask, are you a sociopath? Why do that? Do you think you're bringing something new to my life? Having a chronic illness means you are starting at a negative. Being positive and happy can only be a good thing. I'm not stupid. I'm cognitively impaired. Okay, look, I'm not stupid. I know that it is more likely that things will not go in my favour. But don't you think that positivity is keeping me going?
That is very true. So as long as you continuously have positive thoughts and you try your best to constantly have good thoughts, then it's only a good thing. And it's awful when people try and, but your life is so hard. Thank you for reminding me. Just let me be in my happy space, okay? Yeah? Yeah.
9. You will care so much less about the little things. It's actually quite freeing. Oh, that shelf is slightly dirty. Whatever, I have seen the light and come back. 8. You will care so much about tiny things. Well, it's the life of contradictions. If my episode of Poirot starts 5 minutes later than normal today, I will flip out. Do they not realise this is my entire life? It's the highlight of my day.
Yes, so you will start to care very little about things that you used to care a lot about. So I used to care very deeply about having a clean house and making sure that everything was perfect. And now it's like, it's not hurting anyone that, there's a pile of Christmas decorations on my coffee table, because I've been slowly collecting my Christmas decorations and putting them on the coffee table so that eventually it will go in a box. But it's been a very slow process because I can't overexert myself. But then there's things where tiny things can set you off, and everyone's like, but yeah, I thought you said you didn't care about the little things. No, there are things that I do care about, and there have been days where maybe a YouTuber didn't post that day because, they're taking care of their mental health and it's important for them, and I'm freaking out because don't you know that I wait for you to post? Yeah. Or if I can't get a certain book that I want to listen to, because right now there's a book in a series that I can't get because it's not anywhere. Yeah, so you will care very little about little things, and you will care a lot about little things. It is a life of contradictions.
7. Other people diagnose you randomly. Strangely enough, I am more inclined to trust the doctor, who has studied the human body for 30 years, than a distant cousin of my friend's mother's next-door neighbour's best friend. I've probably had every test known to man at this point, and I have definitely not got whatever freaky metallic frog virus you just mentioned.
Yep. Everybody will diagnose you, and everyone will try and cure you. And after a while, you start to block people out because you've had a billion tests done, you know what's wrong with you now, and you don't want them to diagnose you anymore. Not that you ever wanted them to diagnose you. But yes, people will come out of the woodworks to diagnose you and tell you how to cure yourself.
6. Other people will also try to fix you randomly. Auntie May took essential oils and it grew her whole leg back. Not the same thing, Janet. 5. Doctor's appointments take all day. How long should I expect my appointment to be? 15 minutes to 4 hours. How long should I expect the wait to be? 20 minutes to 10 hours. How much energy should I expect to use? All of it.
Yeah, so doctor's appointments, at least in the US, it depends. If I'm going to like the ER, then I'll be there all day. It doesn't matter. Like, I will be there all day. My doctor's appointments tend to be really, really short, to the point that it's kind of insultingly short. But it still wastes all my energy, so, you know.
4. You will get very good at faking you care. Oh, you stubbed your toe? Please take 20 minutes to tell me about it while I hold my side smile nod and try to pop my rib back in. Leading on from that though. 3. You spend a lot of time managing other people's emotions. Whenever you tell someone close to you about being ill or your diagnosis.
So in my view, and she's not wrong, I don't want anyone to think that I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? But in my view, you have a right to your pain and your emotions. So if you stub your toe, I will feel really bad for you.
They will feel a range of emotions. Sometimes they will look to you to comfort them about these emotions. Occasionally it takes more energy to look after how these people feel about you being ill than it does actually to be ill. Eventually you just stop telling people about your illness. 2. Body positivity means being positive about the body you are in right now. Ignore negative things that other people say, or just stop them saying it. You're too thin or you're too fat are not comments that have anything to do with your actual health. That is a person's guttural reaction to visual stimulus. You are not too anything. You are today's you, and you're allowed to love the you of today, even if you want tomorrow's you to be different. Number 1. Kindness is the most important lesson.
I cannot stress this enough. You are perfect the way that you are right now. Maybe you want to change something. That's okay too. But don't get down on yourself that you're not what you want right now. Love who you are at this moment, that you are good enough. It is so important that you have that body positivity, that you are good enough for right now. If you want to lose weight, then work on it day by day. But in that day, you are good enough. If you want to gain weight, because there are a lot of chronically ill people that are underweight, day by day, change something, but love who you are in that moment. So, body positivity, I agree with her 100%.
Forgive yourself. I'm not talking about other people here. We are done with managing other people's emotions. I want you to know that being kind to yourself and forgiving to your body is the best possible thing you can take away from this video. I mean, this channel, me. Having a body that doesn't work the normal way can feel like a fight, like you are constantly battling on to not be ill, to not give in to your diagnosis, or if you're going to be one of those amazing Paralympians because they're the good ones. Sometimes surrendering and giving in is the bravest thing you can do. Admitting your limitations and finding a way to work within them is powerful. Being kind to yourself is a subversive act when your very existence is a round peg trying to fit in a square hole. If you've just been diagnosed with a chronic illness, you will grieve, but you still have great potential.
This is extremely important. I always say to be kind to others, but you need to be kind to yourself. Remember that this isn't your fault, that you didn't choose this, that you have a right to be happy. Be kind to yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't compare yourself. Being who you are is the most important thing, and you are perfect the way that you are. You don't have to overdo it to try and be one of the good disabled people. You are just fine just the way that you are. And I completely agree with her that it is brave to finally realize, you know what? This is who I am, and this is how much energy I can spend. And that is being brave.
Not everything has to turn out as perfectly as you'd imagined it, and not everything has to go down in flames. There is a world that lives in the middle of all that, and I am here to welcome you.
It's true. Life does not have to go down in flames just because you have a chronic illness. You can find happiness in whatever you do. You are wonderful, and I believe in you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was something that helped you, that you were able to take something away from it, that life with chronic illness is not as bad as you think it should be, and that you can be happy no matter what. If you want to learn more about chronic illnesses, disabilities, life with chronic illnesses, then go ahead and click that subscribe button and go ahead and click that like button, because that tells the YouTube algorithm that this video needs to go up in front of more people, and it does. So do that. Or not. It's up to you. It is completely up to you. It is your choice whether or not you like and subscribe. Remember to be kind. Kindness is free, so give it out to everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.